what to do. Escaping the bread for tools. So trouble cannot last the moon. Blood still lasts the world heal. Struggling to stay real. But as I kneel in my appeal of a black slayer, black on black crime, you just stare and be rare. Or make the earth till it quake. The quaking and break bond. No mercy forgiving. My eyes upon the great ones. My eyes upon the great ones. Adolescents ain't done correct. No fake ones. The judge and the jury. And your state lines are praising God, my creator.
Coming on the screen all the time saying, black people. The white man always try to talk to you right through the news, and he says, oh, you guys are African Americans. How does the newscaster that you've been told to call white, how does he talk about people that aren't black? Do you hear them on the news saying white people? So, let's move a little further. Books, right? When the first Africans arrived in Virginia in 1619, there were no white people. Nor, according to colonial records, would there be for another 60 years. Now, so, what is type 2? Genetic condition affecting the coloring, which is the pigmentation of the skin, the hair, and the eyes. Affected individuals typically have, and again, very fair skin. Let's look at the word fair, because that doesn't make sense under the situation. You're up.
Why are they affected? Who affected them? Why would someone affect them?
Honestly, being diseased by God, and we're going to call it fair? That doesn't sound right.
The Creator gave them a disease? Was that when the Creator said, I have made them, what, bare? Or was that, I have unhid all their private parts? Well, if you have body parts inside, nobody can see them because they're inside you. That would make them private, right? But, so you can see these veins. But folks that are fair-skinned, you can see their veins, the color. No disrespect. I'm just being honest. You can actually see the flesh. You can't see the red. Well, actually, when they get mad, you can see the little red. So I have to take that back. They do have some melanin, though. They do have some. Just not a lot.
fair, in accordance to the rules and standards. Oh, I was going to read that, right? Affected individuals typically have very skin that's affected by the rules and standards. That actually makes fucking sense. You know that? You weren't supposed to steal land. There were rules and standards. There were contracts. You did it anyway. And this is what happened. Now, anybody that questions this can think about the episode we did on the Marshall Islands where they poisoned the people, stole their land.
When the people came over from Africa who were black, you hear this now, that was not part of us, came to steal the land. This is why they said Christopher Columbus was a black Moor. Okay? Was he a black African Moor? They came here, they was not us, and they stole the land, and the creator affected them. And the first white person did not even appear out of that group until 1916. Think about that. Or was it 1616? One or the other, I'm not even sure. You gotta rewind back, but it was there. Right? So that asks you, what happened? The creator said what happened. So these are the black Africans that came from Africa that was against us, who have now turned white, even though that's not a color, because the creator has hid their private place, their private places. Okay? So the creator has punished them with a disease. I'm just being honest. This is what the creator said anyway. It's in your book. It's in your Bible. It's even in the freaking King James. Surprised about that. So they were affected by the creator because they stole land. And well, the book, the King James, see, this is some bullshit with the King James. The King James said because, he sold his piece of meat or something for the wish, which does not make any sense if you think about it. Why would, come on, man. Nobody's that stupid. Okay? I'm pretty sure the Edomites and all of the ones, they were all black at one point, were not that stupid. Okay? We were simply given to rulership over this place from the very jump. They never had to sell their anything. They never had it. So what they do? They came over here to steal the land that they never had the blessing for. The creator even puts out that he never told them to do that, and he never wanted them to do it. They want to do it. He just knew they were going to do it. The creator warned us. The prophets, the real prophets, warned us. All right. So you got to start using your head. And when they stole the land, the creator punished them and made them the color they are today for punishment. So they would not be able to hide anymore. So what they do, they hid themselves. How? By making up religions and putting their pagan worship as a Mr. J, Mr. Z, or the son of Mr. G, who's Mr. J the devil, and all the other names that y'all call him, 330 names. If you think about it, that's actually Freemasonry numbers too, which the devil's all about Freemasonry. He loved the numbers.
And then what? In the end, the woman comes out there and says, I don't give a fuck what happened to them. I have beachfront property.
And I'm not prejudiced what your ancestors caused. Your ancestors did this, but the creator judges nations.
So,
unfortunately, it's time to pay the piper time, and a lot of people are in trouble.
Okay. Although lighting conditions can allow blood vessels
And
at
for
the
us,
back of the eye
fortunately,
to be seen.
because we do want everything back, it has to go back to where it once was from the beginning,
So
which is us on top,
that's the
and it will be that way
protection from the
forever.
sun in the eye socket.
So
Those
no
sensitive
protection,
eyeballs we have.
hardly any
It's
protection
telling
from
you
the
you don't have any
sun.
protection. Which can cause the eyes to look reddish, violet. Most people with albinism have blue eyes, and some have hazel, or brown eyes. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Characterized, this is type 1, light hair. Type 2 is typically less severe. So, type 1 is very severe.
It's type 1.
White hair. Pale eyes. Pale skin. So when we go into type 3.
That's almost like Draco status right there.
Now, again, type 2.
I think that one's a Draco
is
anyway.
everything in between. Blonde hair, red hair. Remember, type 1 is white hair. Type 2 is blue eyes, brown eyes, blah, blah, blah. Now, type 3 affects your children, your congenital. Let's see what type 3 is.
So type 2, that means your child will come out the same way as
Mutations.
you with your skin. Mutation.
Commonly called the P gene.
Mutation. So the Dracos. So some of y'all have type 2. I'm just being honest, just telling you the truth. Type 2 is when, if you have a child, they're going to come out with the same skin color, not having the melanin that the creator did not let you have. So another creator makes sure that your child don't get it too. So in other words, the creator punishes you and your child, which is messed up, but I have nothing to do with that. I'm not the creator, sorry. I can't get involved. I don't want no problems with the creator. You got to understand that. And I'm not prejudiced, so I'm just giving you the facts. Don't get mad at me. All right. Now, type 3 is when you have mutations. It says it right there. Can y'all see that? Let me zoom in. What the hell am I doing? Okay, here we go. Sorry. Mutation. Okay. Mutation. Right there. The Dracos shapeshift. That would be a mutation. The worst hair going to be no hair, because they cut their hair bald. Why did a lot of these Dracos cut their hair bald? Because they have white hair. Okay? And some of these blonde ones are Dracos too, but their eyes, you will see that. We call them the Lizzies. People say they call it religion, but it's actually not religion, it's actually the facts. You have to understand what's going on. War of the Worlds.
3. All the writing is usually initially described in African populations.
Okay, and you don't know.
Okay, so
They actually come from Africa. These people come from Africa. I'm just being honest. I'm not being prejudiced. It's the truth. Maybe you don't understand that because you don't understand what the chosen land is. Y'all still think it's Africa. Okay, it is true that Africa was all the way from there, all the way to some parts of America. But that doesn't mean that we'll just leave it. I'm going to leave it alone. Y'all can do research. I don't spoke about this way too many damn times.
it is type 3 is rufous or brown albinism, and occurring mainly in African populations. So that's the yellowing of the skin, the yellowing of the hair, right?
So blonde hair.
Again, when
more
Africa's
tannin,
population
tannin
is
skin, more
experience this,
tannin.
their
That is a
hair
type of
doesn't
melanin, but
necessarily
it's
look
not
what we
type
call
melanin that we
blonde.
have.
It looks a brighter color, which we call yellow. So notice under type 3, they are telling you over and over again, Africa, right? You see it right there, African population, right? African population. Now the visual examples should be shocking to you. They're not showing African, are they? So when the Chinese do their DNA and it says that they're African, here's the white man, right? The fake white man verifying it, the albino. Remember, this is his playground, right? His fake search engine. You've been told Asian, but they're really African. You've been told Asian, really African. All 4 types Africans.
These are the Africans. African 1, no melanin, white hair, or very, very light blonde hair, almost whitish. Pasty. I'm not expecting nobody, just letting you know what's really going on. Type 2. Okay, so type 2 is not a reptilian yet. So there's another type, which would be type 5, would be reptilian. But they ain't, okay, so that's all good. All right, you ready? Then you look over here. Y'all know this. This is type 2. Probably what they first started to look like at one point. But now you see this albino, they tell you, no, they're still black. Yeah, all these guys are black. So-called black. It's not a real name. But all these guys are African. We ain't African, so I'll just correct it. These guys are African. You see them, listen, albinos are Africans. They're not us. Not expecting y'all. Okay, Asiatic looking. Alright? And of course you got the Asians and all those other ones. Asiatic looking. We're just gonna focus on a couple of things here, right? You see the Asiatic skin, Asiatic. That's Asians, Asiatic. These are the Africans. More like red eyes. Take a picture, say they have red eyes. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, the black eye. Oh, they try to block it out, but he had black eyes. I've seen some folks with black eyes. I don't understand why they got black eyes, but so I do now, because they're Africans. Type 3, African. Type 4, African. These are all Africans. All right? Nobody's talking trash. This is cold hard facts. These are the Africans. We not from Africa. We've been over here.
Well, we're going to hide what they are. We're going to call them Europeans. And all the efforts that Europe has done through history, we're going to give them the credit for it. Why? Because they lie? So, it says type 4. Who knew? It's 4 types. I mean, probably more. Who knows?
Type 5.
So,
Type 5. Gray. Type 6. Draco. Alright? Then you got type 7, type 8, and all those other ones. But you have a whole bunch of different demons. And when you start getting to type 5, type 6, and so forth, that's when you get to the demons, or the so-called aliens with the demons, the fallen ones. Okay? So they already, fucked up. You got these other ones here. Well, you guys are Africans, but you have a chance if you do the right thing. And you need to study and find out the truth. But y'all need to stop serving Mr. J, for he is a devil. Only cold hard facts here.
Are their DNA series different? But the number of DNAs in there are different in different groups. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series.